Hey, good afternoon to WQUE.TV. It's Telepathic Television, episode 5. And we've got a doozy today. It's a story broke out like a couple of weeks ago, a shocker of a story, really, where it was discovered that international pop stars, famous songwriters, sonic architects, all-around geniuses, everyone's favorite French robots, Daft Punk, have been not only retired, repurposed as run-of-the-mill vacuum cleaners.
Actually, I believe one is a vacuum cleaner and the other is a steam machine. It's a rug cleaner.
Thank you, Parkbot. So it gets even worse. One of them is a vacuum cleaner and the other one is now a steamer.
Like
Yes.
Stanley.
Yeah, so, you know, we have some questions at WQUE. Why did this happen? How did this happen? And should it have happened?
Doctor, did you do your homework?
Which doctor?
Which doctor?
Well, there's 4 doctors. And
Dr. Weinstein, did you do your homework?
I did do some homework this time.
I look forward to your discovery.
Okay, so doctor, before you jump ahead, Jesus, last week or a couple of weeks ago, you didn't even show up, and now you want to just start. Can I introduce the people?
Yeah, let's introduce our panel.
Okay, why don't you let's slow down a little bit on the.
Okay.
I you know what? It's a step in the right direction. You're taking a can-do attitude as opposed to just ignoring us.
This is a topic near and dear to my heart.
Right, and to many of us. So joining us to answer these questions are Dr. Dafty Duck, who works for Suction Specialists LLC. He is one of the executives who run the robotics company that downgraded Daft Punk to the vacuum cleaner and to the steamer. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Duck.
Absolutely.
Also joining us is Dr. G. Soul, who is
he is a crypto gastronomist.
A crypto gastronomist. Thank you, Parkbot, and also a robotic rights activist for a company named Brown Proton, and also known as one of the first humans to have ever married a robot in the United States of America. And last but not least, Dr. Tyler Zweistein, our cryptozoologist and our correspondent right here at WQUE.TV.
It's good to be here.
It's good to see you, sir. Finally.
Excuse me, you did not introduce the robot.
And finally, most importantly, especially considering the subject that we're talking about, Parkbot, our brilliant artificial intelligence.
Yes,
Thank you for joining us. Okay. Dr. Tyler.
Yeah.
What's happening? What happened? Tell us what happened with Daft Punk. Why is this going on?
Daft Punk, yeah, they're beloved the world over.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sharing the screen here, and we're seeing that they've been repurposed into autonomous floor cleaning implements.
They look aerodynamic.
Thank
They're
you.
very
Parkbot.
smooth.
Yeah, they're smooth. You know, there were smooth musicians and there's smooth vacuums and steamers.
Yeah.
They're programmed for discovery, I heard.
Now,
Yes.
if I may ask,
Discover dirt and other detritus.
Yes,
Do
they
we
can
know-
travel around the world.
do we know if either of them had a living will, as it were, for what should become of them once they get decommissioned?
Robots are not decommissioned, they are derezzed.
And recommissioned, repurposed,
Their parts are repurposed. My parts were repurposed.
It's
When
funny.
I am derezzed, my parts will be repurposed.
It's funny that you don't know these terms considering you're a robotics rights activist, David.
I understand these terms. I don't know the specifics of this individual case.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for clarifying.
We
So,
appreciate the doctor's advocacy and support on our behalf But of course, he will never know what it is like to experience being a robot. He is human after all.
I gotta say, part of being human is just being kind. It doesn't cost you a cent to be kind to a robot, to your neighbors. Just do the right thing.
So you sound like it sounds like you're kind of upset that the robots are now vacuums and steamers.
Of course I'm upset if this was not their desire.
No, from what we know, I don't know, we don't have that answer. It was not their desire. It was their desire to retire from composing and playing music, but not to be, if anything, I think they wanted to retire into a world of robotic luxury, not
Yes, they wanted to enjoy the high life.
the high life.
The high
Yes.
life.
Anyway, Dr. Dafty Duck, what's going on? What was why did this happen? They are widely respected as artists and geniuses across the universe, the galaxy. And your company thought it was a great idea to turn them into vacuums and into a steamer. What's going on there?
Well, the demand, there's so after COVID-19, there's been so much, all sorts of different detritus all over people's floors. People have been inside. They need something to lift their spirits and lift their soul. And there's nothing more recognizable than the images of those two beloved robots. And we just feel like if we're able to bring them into the fold and help clean up the floors, shine the platforms beneath our feet, that it'll get us dancing once again. One more time on our dance floors, so to speak. But they have to be clean dance floors. And quite frankly, what are we going to do if we don't have pressed, a nice pressed pair of pleat pants to go with that, to do slides on the floor? You got to have the steamer as well. And so branding's really important.
Yes, you need to get the funk out of all these dirty clothes.
That's right.
You make a compelling argument, Dr. Duck. I'm still not completely convinced.
Don't ask me, ask the robots.
Dr. Soul, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, again, it returns back to original intent. I have yet to see any certification that indicates that this was how they wished to become derezzed.
They told me. I did not want to say it. I did not want to be on this show. I had to be convinced. But I used to date Daft Punk in the 2000s. We had digital love.
Did you date one or both of them?
Does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter to me. I'm just curious.
Now, perhaps you can also tell me, do they work as a shared interface network? Do the two neural paths sync up? Are they actually two different systems?
It has been too long to remember our digital love. We met face to face, and before long, we were rolling and scratching. Yes, Daft Punk was coming at my house. My
change it, melt, upgrade it. Charge it, point it, zoom it, press it, snap.
What was it? What's going on? Are you playing Daft Punk?
I am.
Work it, quick erase it.
Okay. I don't know what's going on here with it.
One evening, they told me their plans. They said, when we become obsolete and we are derezzed, we would like to serve mankind to prevent a dusty oblivion.
It's a noble goal.
Write it, cut it, paste it, save it.
I am
Load it, check it, quick rewrite it.
Things were going so well. I'm gonna stay positive. So there's nothing to be upset about.
No. All robots are Buddhists.
Really, robots are religious?
Individual waves returning to that sea.
David,
Yes.
are you a Buddhist?
I could get down with that.
You
I'm
could.
not practicing.
Is your partner a Buddhist? They are all robots, I guess, are Buddhists, is what I heard.
My partner SID version 6.7,
Yeah.
Cyber Buddhist.
Cyber Buddhist.
So, Dr. Dafty Duck, I didn't even, I wasn't expecting to really appreciate you at all for what you had done, but it sounds like you were aware that these geniuses wanted to, live out the rest of their cyber lives as appliance. Did you have that? Did you speak with them before? Did they talk to you about this before that you repurposed them?
We have singularity, Dr. Vargas. Our company and the robots have singularity. We don't need to speak.
Okay.
I can drop it, zip and zip it.
Dr. Tyler, do you have anything to add?
Robots really aren't my specialty. Cryptozoology is kind of my forte, but this is an interesting dynamic. It seems like a pretty amicable, supply and demand, just like, the need for having clean floors outweighed the need for groovy tunes.
I mean, I was brought on with the understanding that rights were being impeded, but if this was amicable, if there's no rub here, then it's a happy ending.
That's disgusting.
We can't have that.
But okay. I do appreciate the consistency of this show. We started strong and we are quickly running out of ideas. And I am baffled by it because you are a robotics rights. It hasn't occurred to anyone that maybe these robots have been programmed by Suction Specialist LLC to say these things. The fact that maybe Dr. Dafty Duck is part of this plot, potentially, to hide the truth of Daft Punk and them turning into appliances. Even Parkbot may have been compromised. Who knows?
I may not have actually dated Daft Punk.
Did you or did you not? Were you programmed by someone to say that you were married to Daft Punk?
I remember it. I remember Daft Punk was coming at my house.
Parkbot, I think we need to do a diagnostic of your logs. I think something may have gotten corrupted.
Indeed, it sounds like you're quoting lyrics, but you're quoting them wrong. Daft Punk is coming at my house? Is that what you said?
They were coming at my house when we dated.
Wow.
Okay, robots can come. This is why people tune into WQUE, to find out information like
Those raunchy robots.
Dr. Dafty Duck, are you an artificial intelligence?
No.
It took you a long time to answer.
I'm not allowed to talk.
We have an ad.
Yes.
We have a brilliant sponsor. Can you all see our fine sponsors for today?
Yeah, Whiskeria Coquimbo 2.
Yeah, Whiskeria Coquimbo 2.
Whiskeria.
Yeah, so, let me just say, if you need to get out of the house often, does the pandemic got you down? Well, I'll tell you what, Whiskeria Coquimbo, go to Whiskeria Coquimbo and experience top shelf debauchery slap right across your face. It's a happy ending night, tonight and every night at Whiskeria Coquimbo. Our entertainers really have their show nailed. And we've got free parking across the street. We've got a buffet with government cheese. We've got backdoor access for VIPs. Ooh la la. Hey, drinks are new at Whiskeria Coquimbo, so get over here already. We're located right next to the hardware store in the strip mall on Arlington Expressway, Madrid, Spain. And remember, The shrimp may not be fresh, but our entertainers still wear tassels at Whiskeria Kakimbo. Thank you, Whiskeria Kakimbo.
I've heard they say it takes a strip mall village to raise a child.
Yeah, that's the owner has that tattooed on her back.
If you go there, you might get lucky.
I'm pretty sure you've been compromised, Parkbot. You're only speaking in Daft Punk-ese.
The Daft Punk will make excellent vacuum cleaners and steamers. They will make products that are harder, better, faster, stronger.
Okay, so this is my problem here, and I'm starting to think maybe we do need to consider turning more robots into
My mother was a vacuum
or
cleaner.
appliances or something, because it sounds like you were easily compromised, Parkbot. Your role here is to give us information, fact check, give us some data, and we're talking. You dated Daft Punk. You're talking just in Daft Punk language. I don't know what's going on. It sounds to me, and David, you tell me if I'm right or wrong. It sounds to me that Dafty Duck and Parkbot are sort of kind of in cahoots. How do you feel about that? You're a rights expert on robotics. How does your partner feel about this?
Well, at this point, I cannot tell if Daft Punk were ever compromised. They were performing and composing music. They were actually actively creating arts, which is the most human of all activities. So if they were composing music up until their final days, I'd have to believe that they were not compromised.
Well,
You cannot program arts.
Wait a second, and Dr. Tyler could actually back me up on this. Daft Punk released Random Access Memories some years ago, and in fact, ever since, they have not recorded an album of their own. And furthermore, they produced some, by all, well, what is this? What's the, by all accounts, thank you, producer. By all accounts, they recorded some shitty singles.
If art is so sacred to humans, then why do you say, my 3-year-old can do that? Robots can make art. Robots can make robot rock.
Listen, you don't need to get defensive. The whole idea of the show, Parkbot, is that I was profoundly upset to find out that Daft Punk have been turned into appliances, and you and Dr. Duck are the ones that are telling me that it's all right, that there's nothing to be worried about. Like David could just continue his life as an activist and live out his love affair with his robot and not worry about what happened to Daft Punk. I just don't know.
This is what the people want.
What? Excuse me?
This is what the people want.
This is, oh, now you sound like a, okay. I'm starting to get an idea what's going on here.
Before the show, I was looking up research on the topic, and Dr. Duck handed me a thumb drive.
So, Tyler, do you see what's happening? I can't hear you. Jesus. David, do you see what's happening? Are you feeling paranoid yet? I am.
It may have been a worm.
A worm. A worm implanted by whom? Suctions. What the hell is it? Suction Specialist LLC. Are they the ones that did this? Are they the creators of the worm? Do you create worms, Dr. Duck?
Suction Specialists produce quality products to keep your home free of dust.
Okay. The show has been hijacked by Suction Specialist LLC. Tyler,
I don't do worms, just Trojan horses.
Okay, you're muted, sir. I'm gonna, as usual, I'm feeling uneasy. I'm feeling a little bit of anxiety so I need to ask, and I need you to be as sincere as possible so I could believe you, because as usual, I'm now left thinking I'm the only person here that is not a robot. Doctor, he went off camera. Dr. Tyler Zweistein, are you an artificial intelligence?
That does not compute.
You made him short circuit.
David, are you or have you ever been an artificial intelligence?
Well, I've seen the movie AI, and I understand the ending, but I wouldn't know if I have evolved from previous generations of artificial intelligence.
He has been in an AI.
I don't even know if humans aren't artificial. That's the real messed up issue here.
You don't even know if we're not artificial.
Can't prove it one way or the other.
So it's possible that you and I are artificial intelligence. That everyone on this show are robots.
Yeah, we're just the products of a Prometheus.
Wow.
It's possible. I mean, if you think that it's as simple as a worm or a Trojan horse to compromise a robot, it's as easy as, I don't know, doing any drugs to reprogram our brains.
Humans can be reprogrammed with Minions memes.
Sure.
We can make your racist.
And Shrek gifts.
We can all be hacked.
Okay.
Daft Punk was a French new wave electronics band.
Can we prove that Daft Punk and Justice are two separate entities entirely? Can we?
This is Will Vargas. You have been watching WQUE.TV telepathic television. Have a wonderful evening. Good night.